In the new digital millennium of music, where listeners choose to stream their favorite artists and CD sales are declining, a not-so-new method of appreciating music seems to be on the rise: vinyl records. We spoke with Joey Campbell, a college student who's been collecting vinyl records for about 3 years.
So I had a friend that started collecting records, and I went in their room one time and I started looking at them and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I started in high school. I believe it was my junior year when I first bought a couple records. So I think the recent increase has become mainly because of just the trendiness of it all. I think people really like the idea of it. But there's something to be said about not being completely fulfilled by digital media. I think that having records in your hands and being able to hold the music adds this sort of extra layer of, I use the word tangible, it's just, you get to feel it more. And I think it gives you this feeling of like, this is mine, where, a single digital song, it doesn't feel the same, Impractical process that comes from records is sort of a romantic thing. You can treat it more of like a process you can enjoy it, where it's like waxing a car. Like, no one wants to sit and wax their 1967 Mustang for 3 hours, but it sure is rewarding. And so when you take your record and spend 5 minutes setting it up and playing it, I could have done that in 10 seconds on my phone, but it's sort of just part of this like beautiful process, listening to music, that it's way more intentional.
We spoke with Tom, the owner of Moldy Toes Records in San Clemente, California, to get his opinion on the vinyl craze.
Records right now are extremely hard to get because the demand is so high and the pressing facilities are very limited. It's not just young people coming into it, it's a whole wide spectrum. It's kind of romantic. You've got the record in your hand, you're setting the needle on it, you have to listen to it, you can't hit skip to the next song. It doesn't sound like crap coming out of your phone. I really believe people should support their local independent store and avoid evil Amazon and the big box retailers. Right now, records are so hard to get because Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all these people that weren't selling records 2 years ago are now in the market.
The Recording Industry Association of America stated that record sales saw a massive spike in revenue last year, despite the pandemic, beating out CD sales for the first time since 1986. Vinyl record sales soared about 29%, raking in over $626 million. We also spoke with Biff Cooper, the owner of Power Plant Records, to get more insight into the rising sales of vinyl records.
We had a dip at first because we were completely closed. There has been a uptick in purchasing, but it kind of made up for it being closed. But this year, it's sustained the growth. So definitely 2021 was better. I think what you're dealing with is obviously a digital market, but there's always going to be some type of hard market, hard copies. And so really the battle exists almost between CDs, cassettes, and vinyl. But vinyl has started outperforming CDs, so it's kind of poised to take the throne in terms of hard copies. That's kind of what it's going to be. I mean, it's a piece of art in your room that you can, share, pass on to your friends and family. I think that we're kind of undergoing a rebirth in the music industry, almost like a phoenix, because it's died, and we get to see artists emerge, and we get to kind of understand where they're at. Back in the day, they used to be able to be a middle-class musician, sell hard copies at your shows. Everyone needed to buy hard copies, so you had something to sell, to put food on the table. That's no longer real. You have to be more creative as an artist to make a living. That's why we do the studio and sell records and all those things.
Though the landscape of the music industry has changed drastically, it's nice to see that some things remain the same. As more and more artists push vinyl records, it's safe to say that they're here to stay.